Many people struggle with writing emails in English. They don't know the right words. They feel like they're writing too much or too little. They just don't feel natural. But don't worry, today we're going to be looking at exactly that. How to write emails that are polite, professional, and clear. And if you stay until the end, I'm going to give you a free checklist so that every time you write an email, you are going to write the best that you can. For those of you that don't know me yet, my name is Andrea and I help fix your English. I help people just like you to grow their confidence in using English. If that sounds like something that you need, please subscribe to me, hit the like button and also the notification button so that you can get all of my videos. Perfect. Now, let's fix your emails. The first is to write a clear subject line. What do I mean by that? Well, if there is no subject line or if it's unclear, it's very probable that your email will be ignored. So we don't want that. Good subject lines should be short, around 4 to 7 words, specific, they need to clearly state the purpose, and action-focused if needed. Okay, I think that you can agree with all of this to do with subject lines. Let's also look at what it shouldn't have. Bad subject lines are too vague. They just say hello, or maybe important, or even meeting. But this doesn't tell the reader anything. Better subject lines are very much more specific. Let's look at them. Project update. Please review by Friday. Interview confirmation for Monday, 10 a.m. Request for time off from the 14th to the 18th of June. So, your subject line needs to explain what the email is about. And the more information that you can put in that subject line, the better. Also, if your email is urgent, you can put action required, response needed, deadline, Friday, 5 p.m. This helps your email to stand out without it being rude. The next step is to look at the greeting that we use in our email. What do I mean by that? Your greeting sets the tone of the email. Is it too formal? Is it too informal? Does it sound distant? Does it sound too casual? Does it sound unprofessional? Let's look at formal greetings first of all. These are normally used with managers, clients, or new contacts. Dear Mr. Smith. Dear Ms. Johnson. Dear Dr. Patel. Dear hiring manager. Do you see how we use a comma at the end of each of these greetings? At the end of each of the titles, like Mr., Doctor, we put a full stop as well because this is an abbreviation. Another thing I want to focus your attention to is something that is the Miss, Mrs. and Ms. Mrs. is used for a married woman. Miss is used for an unmarried woman, and Ms. is used for women where you don't know what their marital status is, or maybe they prefer for you not to use it. So, if in doubt, use Ms. Okay? Let's go back to the greetings. Let's look at the neutral and polite greetings now. We use these for colleagues and for team members. Hi, Sarah. Hello, team. Hi, everyone. Do you see again that there are commas at the end of each of these greetings? Let's look at ones that are too informal and that we should not use in professional emails. Hey, guys. This is too casual. Yo, this isn't professional at all. Or to whom it may concern. This is too impersonal. So this was easy, right? Now, just one other tip. If you're writing to a group and you don't know their names, just use a department. For example, Dear Customer Support Team. Dear HR Department. So, we have our subject line. We have our greeting. Now we need to make sure that our first sentence is perfect. How do we do that? Your first sentence should explain why you are writing. If you're making a request, I'm writing to request information about. Could you please provide details about? I would appreciate it if you could. If you're replying to someone, you can say, thank you for your email. I appreciate your quick response. Following up on our conversation, I wanted to... Now let's look at some bad openers that are too vague or too direct. I need help. That's too vague. You must send me the file now. That's too demanding. Instead of saying, can you could use, could you? Could you give me the information about this instead of can you give me the information about that? It's just a little more polite to say could. Now we're looking at the body of the email. I want you to keep this short and to the point. Most people skim emails. That means that they don't read every single word or every sentence. They look for the most important parts of the email. So let's follow this simple structure. 1. State the purpose. I'm writing to ask about. 2. Provide details. We need this information by Friday. 3. Give an action step. Please confirm by Thursday. Now I'm going to give you some examples of different emails so you can see exactly how they're written. The first one is for requesting information. This is both polite and professional. Subject: Inquiry about training course. Dear Sarah. Do you see how it has a comma at the end? I hope you're doing well. I'm interested in the advanced Excel training course offered by your company. Could you please provide information about the schedule, the cost, and registration process? I'm looking forward to your response. Best regards, Andrea. So, this was perfect. This gave all the information that that person needs. They understand why that person is writing, and they know exactly the information that they want. The second one is going to be to reschedule a meeting. Subject: Request to reschedule Thursday's meeting. Now, we could actually put the date because people don't know which Thursday it is. So maybe you could say the 21st of April or something like that. But if you're in daily contact with someone, it might not be needed. Hi, Tom. I hope you're having a great week. I wanted to check if we could reschedule our meeting on Thursday, as I have a scheduling conflict. Would Friday at 2 p.m. work for you instead? Let me know what works best. Thanks, Andrea. So, I'm not putting my full name because I know this man. His name is Tom. And again, I would suggest that you put the full date. So, instead of Friday at 2 p.m., maybe you could put Friday the 2nd of March at 2 p.m. And if you work in an international company, it's best to put the time zone as well, because 2 p.m. in the United Kingdom is different to 2 p.m. in France. That's different to 2 p.m. in Mexico. So just be aware of that. Be as clear as possible. This is a following up email now. That means to politely remind someone to do something. Subject: Follow up. Project deadline extension. Dear Mr. Patel, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to follow up on my previous email regarding the project deadline extension. Could you let me know if the new timeline is approved? Looking forward to your update. Kind regards, Andrea. Now, as you saw in all of these emails, I had a closing. Let's look at these closings now. Your closing phrase should reflect the tone of your email, i.e., it shouldn't be too formal if you're writing an informal email or the reverse. Let's look at professional closings first of all. Best regards. Kind regards. Sincerely. There's also yours faithfully. You use yours faithfully when you don't know the name of the person that you're writing to. If we're looking at casual closings, we can say, thanks. Looking forward to your reply. Have a great weekend. Avoid these. Thanks. This is too informal. In fact, it's best to avoid abbreviations in your professional life. That means not saying thanks like this or because like this, by the way like this. Sometimes in your work they do use abbreviations and that's fine, but I would suggest that you don't use them as a rule of thumb. Cheers. Only use this if you know the recipient very well. Now we've almost finished our email. We need to finish with a professional signature. What does that mean? Your email signature should include your name, for example, Andrea Fixes. Your job title, for example, English coach or English teacher. Your company name, Andrea Fixes Your English. And then you can put your contact information as an option. For example, your phone number, your LinkedIn contact. It depends on you and the job that you're doing. Okay, the last step is as important as the previous steps, which is to proofread your email. Proofread everything. Before you hit send, you need to do 3 things. 1, look at your spelling and your grammar. Any kind of typos can make you look careless and unprofessional. You can put them through a spell checker first of all. Some email clients automatically do this, or you can use a program that does spell checking and grammar checking. Make sure that you've used the correct recipient. Double check the email address. Make sure that you're sending it to the right person. And 3, if you use attachments, don't forget to attach the document that you've said that you will do. Let's do a quick recap now. 1, write a clear subject line. 2, use the right greeting. 3, start with a polite opening. 4, keep the body short and clear. 5, end with a professional closing. And 6, proofread before you send. I've created a free email checklist for you. You can find it in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe, like, share it with a friend. And I have a question for you. What is the biggest mistake that you've heard someone make in an email? Maybe they gave a lot of company secrets away. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!